One of the coolest things about the '07 movie was all the repaints we got from it. Some stuff came out in the Allspark Power, and things like this, Movie Big Daddy, are references to old Micromasters. Today we're going to be taking a look at both of these, and you can just see how amazing the paint is on both. Specifically on Movie Big Daddy with the painted taillights and the sides. You really don't get this much coverage on a figure anymore. He also came with these two blasters. I don't have the missiles for them, unfortunately, but the blasters look okay on the side of the car. I think it does kind of ruin it. But what doesn't ruin this figure is the cyber key gimmick. Unlike a lot of figures, his is really discreet, being able to just pop up this little panel, slide the cyber key in, and a little claw comes out. It's not too invasive, it's simple, it's unintrusive, and I like it. It's nice. The other side effect of Micromasters being 5mm compatible is the old Big Daddy from Siege works as a mini-con, which is pretty cool.
Oh, almost forgot. Little guy. Yeah, so this is a pretty interesting thing. I think they did this for a few of these Micromaster characters where at some point during the Universe toy line or a random repaint would come out that was based on one. I know there's one for Countdown from Universe Classics, but this one is my favorite, obviously, because it's just this cool little muscle car guy. I'm a big muscle car enthusiast, and these things are super, super cool. This one especially is just so funny with the name and the flames and the old school roadster look. Really, really like it. And then on top of that, this is a really great mold. I actually used to have Cybertron Downshift, and then I ended up getting rid of it. So a couple things: I don't have the missiles, and I don't have the cyber key. I got this guy effectively loose, and honestly, I don't really care because I kind of regret buying the guns themselves anyways. But yeah, you can see without the blasters, he has this really cool textured like cloth top for the convertible top, which is really, really nice. You don't really see that like at all. I can't think of another Transformer that has that level of detail on there. The awesome flames right there, they've hidden the hinge fairly well within it. The nice painted and pinned wheels, this guy rolls incredibly well. Painted taillights, no painted exhaust, although I think on Downshift these were painted. And then this little cyber key port flips up and down and hides so nicely, like you can't even really tell it's there. But yeah, super, super nice on the paint there. The transparent headlights with the silver grille. Yeah, and then the silver bumper. Really, really nice paint on this guy. I love the silver movie-style Autobot logo on this guy, which this one he has the little kind of cut-out Autobot logos right there and his flames. But yeah, getting to transformation, these guys are very simple to transform. First thing you want to do is open the doors, which you can kind of see these get a little stuck back there, but so open the doors and turn them like that. Come back here, split the legs, and just bring it, there's a hole right there, a peg right there, just bring that so it clicks in. Bring those down, and then they kind of already started doing it because it's heavy. The backpack you want to fold down, and boop, this little head flips up. Flip out the hands and bring down the arms. Flip out the hand, bring down the arm. Come to the legs, you want to fold out this piece right here, lift up this piece, and flip out the foot. It's kind of like the early version of like the Siege Soundwave legs. I think this one's a little stiff. There it goes. Boop, boop. And there, give me a moment. There is '07 movie Big Daddy, and he looks pretty good, if not lacking a little bit of paint. The silver on the shoulders, definitely think he's lacking a little bit down there. And of course, you can take his guns. As someone pointed out in the shorts comment, you can just clip the guns up to the top of his shoulders, and that's where I really like them, because the little guy can turn into a gun. So we can take this, rotate that around, hold out the peg, and you can peg that into his hand. So that's typically how I have him displayed, but for this we're going to fully transform the little Micromaster guy, which is as simple as just folding that back, post that part. And there we go. There is the Micromaster Big Daddy, which is super, super cool. And you can see the colors line up pretty well with the orange thighs and the orange face. That's real, and then black everywhere else. That's really how you had to get it. But even then, flames on the arms, flames on the upper shoulders right there. So kind of line it up. And he does have the, if we can get a little close on there. Oop, oop. Does have the blue face in there, much like this guy has the blue face plate right there. But yeah, super, super cool figure right here.
But yeah, Big Daddy is one of those characters that is really, really cool in robot mode. Wielding the Micromaster as a gun is amazing. The head sculpt looks obviously Wheeljack because it's repainted from Downshift, but that gives it some charm, honestly. It's nice to see Wheeljack in colors like this. And yeah, it really feels like he's walking around in Halloween decor. The two big cannons are easy to wield in his hands, and you can see they look fairly good, and the little guy looks awesome standing next to his big brother, essentially. Compared next to some modern stuff, here he is with laser fire. Skullgrin from Legacy. We also have a Action Master, Bonsai-tron, who I picked up on the same day as this figure. Then we also have a Power Core Combiner. Yeah, as you can see, he fits in pretty well with modern deluxes, despite his articulation not being super great. Oh yeah, and a Crocodile.
Articulation on these guys is shockingly similar for how small they are. Obviously, we're going to start with the 07 Deluxe first, and then we're going to talk about the Micromaster. But he would have a head swivel. You can see it does kind of wiggle and waggle, but his chin and the square cutout of the car does get in the way. He has full 360s at the shoulders. He has in and out at the shoulders. He has 90-degree elbows. And he has the kind of flippy in and out wrists. He has ball-jointed hips. So they can go out. They can't go, I mean, unless you move this, they can't go back, but they can go back all the way. If you move it, they can go forward until they clack him in the chest. He has a 90-degree bend, and unfortunately, no thigh swivel, like, even though, like, he has really solid thighs. So he totally could have had one. He has an under-the-boot swivel, which is, it kind of sucks. And I feel like they also could have probably thrown in a waist swivel, considering these aren't connected. I feel like a waist swivel could have been in there. I understand that this was a Cybertron toy, and that's just kind of how it was back then, but I definitely think they could have got if they're going to put a boot cut swivel in there, I feel like they could have got a thigh swivel in there as well. The arms are actually fairly posable for the time, even though they don't go past his chest, which is pretty funny. He has his two big rocket launchers up there, and that's it. He does have his gimmick from vehicle mode that we showed off, and it does work here in robot mode if we can get our nail up under there. There we go. Take a cyber key. This is just my basic one, which is pretty cool. Woo! Still works. Pretty crazy that that still works. I'm always impressed whenever they can get a gimmick to work in both modes. So always cool like that, especially one where like the mechanic flips down. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, moving into the Micromaster one, it has standard Micromaster articulation, has ball jointed shoulders. They are a little impeded because of how big they are, but they are there. He does actually have a waist swivel, which is pretty crazy. He has one up on that. And then he does have knees and ball jointed hips. So, yeah. My Big Daddy actually had to be fixed. I had to put a little bit of super glue on this ball joint over here, or on this leg over here, so that way because the ball joint was cracked out the box, and it would just fall off. But I haven't had too many problems with it since I fixed it, so yeah, really happy with that, especially since I really do like this Micromaster. I think it's so cool, and having the 07 movie version is also super cool. So yeah, not modern deluxe posing, but fairly okay posing overall, but amazing posing back in the day whenever this came out.
All in all, the two Big Daddy figures, the one from the movie and the Micromaster, are super cool and look amazing together. I like having these guys together on my shelf. They go with my random Autobot shelf, and I think they look great. It's a character that I know not a lot of people are going to be into, but it's a mold that I used to have as a kid with Downshift, and it being painted into my favorite Micromaster was just amazing. I love this figure. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Bot's Obsession.